What's up guys, Panda here, playing some more Kerbal Space Program. And today I'm going to show off something that I built. Say I built it a couple weeks ago. But to me, I couldn't really get it perfect. I couldn't get it the way that I wanted to. So I wasn't going to make a video on it, and that's one reason is why it kind of took me so long to upload another one, was I was trying to get everything perfect. Excuse me. Make something really cool and exciting, and I couldn't get it perfect. I couldn't get it the way I wanted, so I just never uploaded anything. But I was messing around today, and I was like, you know what, screw it, just put it out there and see if anybody likes it. But we're gonna start out with, this isn't like a full build, but I did save different versions of it, so you could kind of see what I was going for. And then, so this was just kind of like just a basic frame, and to see if I could get the legs work. Oh, and this is Infernal Robotics, the mod, but this is before I got the parts redo, so you're going to see some of the bigger, older parts in it. But let's just go ahead and launch this. And yeah, so this was just kind of a test to see if I could get the legs to work. And these big RCS tanks on the back are more for just balance, just so I could mess around with it and see if I could get it to walk right. But really, to get the legs to work is just the Rotatron, and with kind of this one, the short girder, just kind of offset so that it constantly rotates around. Where it rotates, it'll be like higher and lower and like that, and it'll push it forward and back. And then these smaller, they're Rotatrons too. I can't remember, just disc ones. Let me get it in the light. Well, terrible light. But the disc ones are just to keep the legs so that they're constantly pointing down. Because if I didn't have these, then the legs would just keep rotating. Like the whole thing would just go in a circle. So I put these on there, and it keeps the legs down, and it seemed to work. But here it is. You gotta let the first legs come around, and then I start the second ones. But yeah, this was it. This was just kind of a test I was gonna make, there's the first walker up on the moon, but it's not really useful per se. But this was going to be like a full, like a whole platform. It was just going to be like a flatbed on top of this, and then I could just put whatever I wanted. I guess modular, like a modular walker. And I tried making it go faster, but it gets really unstable. And with it like this, it's pretty steady. See, it's kind of slowly drifting off to the right, but it's nothing I really cared about. I just wanted to get it to walk. And where's the button? Alright. Yeah, so this was the first test, just to see if I could do the legs. And I did. I got the legs working. They seemed to work good to me. So then I moved on, and it was, okay, well, let's actually, where's it at? Then I made this version, which was actually one with the legs. This was going to be the full, like, platform, and this was going to be a drilling platform. And you can see, there's the drills right there. Storage tanks, fuel for, I did test this on the moon. I cheated. I used HyperEdit to put it on the moon, because that's what this was made for. And you kind of see it in the first one, in the first rover for the second video, that it kind of bounces when it walks. And I put these on here to see if, push down on it, would it work? And it did. But there was a problem with it. And the problem was trying to get everything to balance out while it was walking. And to make it so that, like, whether the fuel tanks are whether any part of it is empty or the whole thing is empty or full, to get the whole thing to balance so it didn't wobble and start freaking out. And that just turned into a giant pain of moving these in different spots and trying to get it, and it wasn't working out. But on this one, I made joints on it so that I could raise and lower it. No, there we go. See, I figured this would be like normal walking, or maybe this. It was just so that I could raise it and lower it for the drills, or if I wanted some epic cinematic shot of, oh, look at this rover walking over a rock. But it just getting the balance down was just a massive pain. And then on this one it's the same, and see, it just kind of wobbles because the balance is off. And I tried to empty full, and it was just kind of all over the place. And I tried it with the legs all the way down, all the way up. It just did not want to work for me. And this is also still the same setup, how it's kind of offset, so to get the legs to move around. But it was a pain. So I just decided against that one, but kept it so I could kind of show it off. And then while I was doing all this, I was thinking, this kind of looks like a spider, so why don't we just roll with spider and see what we come up with? And this was kind of it. This was the part of the body and the legs. See, would it work? Excuse me. And yeah, it did. But here's the same setup. The legs are offset. It's all the same. And I got it, and it worked. It worked the same as the other, but this one, I think it just ran out of power. Yeah. But that was it. Just make a body and see how the legs are. They kind of like form around it, which was a spider. And I did actually look up pictures of spiders to get it. Did the legs do that, or were they all just kind of like right in this middle piece where they're all flat? And no, they go around it. So that was interesting to try and get it to work out. And then from there, we went to put the whole thing together. Where's it at? Yes, the spider body and legs and ass. Mark 1. And the flatbed was the Mark II, but that was me messing around. This was the whole thing. This was finally all put together. And it was a combination of all things. It has the joints are, I believe it's still the same angle, because that seemed to work really good. The other Rotatrons keep it so that the legs are always down. Plus, it has, oh, wrong way. No. I put the joints in the legs so that I could raise or lower it. And yeah, that was it. It was just kind of a combination of all three and of getting to this point. And it said it walks the exact same. It works really well. I like it. Well, I am going to need to add the thrusters on it to keep it down, because I did briefly test it out on the moon, and it was the same. It kind of bounced. So I'm going to have to do that. And this center one with the fuel tank, I filled it up with fuel. It worked the same either way, so I didn't have to worry about that. And it also, well, it still kind of drifts a little bit, but overall I was satisfied with it, other than to me it looks kind of shitty. But it worked. It did what it was supposed to. It looks like a spider. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay. I was messing around with making this a drilling platform and just kind of like meshing all the parts into it, and the drills would come out beneath the head, but it was being a little problematic because everything was all meshed together. And then I went one step further, and let me get all these back to normal. And I was thinking, like, what could be more terrifying than a big ass spider? Well, one of those big ass spiders that shoots those hairs off its ass. So that's what these are. And it was the whole ass like shakes around like they do. They shake their ass around, twerk for you, try to startle you a little bit. And then while they're doing that, they're shooting those little hairs at you. That was the big thing, was getting that. And I tried to make those mesh into it so that you didn't just see them sticking out constantly, but that was, again, being problematic. That was it. It's this. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a big ass spider. And it works. It works fairly well. It bounces on the moon, so I'm gonna have to add those little rockets to change that to keep it down. But that's kind of, I think in the new parts pack there's the Infernal Robotics part redo, there's already a Rotatron that has its point offset, so you don't have to do this manually. But I like this because you can adjust how high the step is or how far it is based on the angle of this. So if you were wondering how to make something walk, it's this. It's a Rotatron with a girder, and I just squeaked a little bit. It's a Rotatron with a girder offset at an angle. And that's how you get it to full circle around, like a joint, kind of. And then you have another Rotatron that, when you do a setup like this, that keeps it so that the part that actually is touching the ground stays down. So also a brief tutorial on how to make it your own shitty spider. This is how you do it. And this is also how you run one out of power. But Let me change it and get this. I put, yeah. So, here is, this is going to be the cockpit view of it, which I thought was pretty neat. So, let me get it walking. And here it is in the cockpit view. Probably better if I take all the shit off the screen. And apparently there's a note from BK. I guess probably Bill Kerbal. And the bastard ate all the snacks. Damn you, Bill. Eating my snacks. What is that? Stop using something. Stop what? Stop using something of metal as push. What? Oh well, doesn't matter. I guess you can tell I don't really use cockpit view that much. I'll get the camera on it. There we go. But yeah, cockpit view, and tell you it walks in a straight, well, a mostly straight line very well. Getting it to turn is pretty much non-existent. Thought about adding just some little thrusters, because it'd work on the moon, but some little thrusters on the side of the body pointing out to kind of, so that I could swivel it around. It would work on the moon. I don't think it'd work on Kerbal. You'd have to have too big of thrusters for it to work, and then it would just look terrible. It'd look even worse than it does now. So this is it, my big ass spider, and kind of the process that I went through to get it, and a very short tutorial on how to make walking straight parts like this. It's pretty simple. It took me way too long to figure out because I'm stupid. But anyways, if you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button.